friends, this is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is Monday, September 22nd, and it is nearly 8 p.m. and I am here to do an update. I had intended on updating last Monday. Unfortunately, we spent all of Sunday night in the emergency room, and then my husband was home from work, and I do not typically prefer to film when he is home. Just because he always chooses while I'm filming to wander in. Like, he will leave me alone for hours, and then like he must sense that I have decided to film, and then he will make his way into the room. And so in general, I just prefer to film when he's not home, and he's still at work right now. Anyways, it has been a long 2 weeks since I filmed last. Like I said, we spent a whole night in emergency room. My husband was having some pain in his stomach area, and he got diagnosed with something I cannot even pronounce. But basically it's an inflammation that happens outside of the like stomach tract and all that stuff. I don't know. Apparently it's very rare. The doctor had never actually treated anyone with it before, but we made it out of there, got him some medicine. He needed to be on some anti-inflammatory stuff, and oh, and before that I was sick. So let's see, I filmed on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember. I posted that video. Then Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and that's been really hard for me. I didn't really follow him much at all. I watched some clips, and I would watch an occasional podcast. And if that bothers anybody, please don't argue with me in the comments. I don't want that, and I don't care for that. And feel free to unsubscribe from me. I don't care either. But so that was really hard, and that was on Wednesday. And that night I got sick, and I had started to feel better on Saturday or Sunday, and then we spent the whole night in the emergency room with my husband. So I'd taken off Thursday and Friday from work, and I basically was just, and it was a head cold. There was something going around school, and it just had hit me really bad. I had migraine. I just was not functioning well. And then we spent all Sunday night in the emergency room for my husband, who had been in pain since Saturday afternoon. And after it had been about 36 hours, he hadn't eaten anything in 2 days because he was in too much pain. I convinced him that we needed to go to emergency room, and so then we were there all night. But what was nice is typically when we go to the emergency room, like they would call him back for some tests, and then he'd come back, and we'd wait a few hours for results in the emergency room itself. But they've apparently now set up like whole blocked off, like, okay, so like a big ward floor, and then blocked off individual zones, right? So like curtained off beds. That's what I'm trying to think of. And each one has a seat for a visitor and stuff like that. And so like we were only probably in the waiting room part of emergency room for like 10 minutes, which was really good because there were some interesting characters in there. And there wasn't a ton of people, but there were some interesting characters, okay? There was a guy who was definitely, I think, schizophrenic. He was talking to himself, and he'd occasionally pick up a whistle and blow the whistle, and like I don't know what all else was wrong with him. There was another guy that was throwing up, and then there was a third guy that I'm pretty sure was pleasuring himself in the waiting room. And there was only like 7 of us in the waiting room itself. So we were so thankful to be taken. The guy, we were taken back at the same time as another guy. And he was like, well, I'm glad to be out of there. We're like, yeah, us too. And so, yeah, I'm so glad to be out of there. And it was nice. Like, my husband was able to lay down on a bed and he fell asleep. I was finishing taking the safety courses that were required to take for work, which were due the next day. There was 11 of them, and they took all night, and I'd already done half of them, so it was quite painful. In part because I think some of them are designed to trick you, and my friends at work are all like, you can skip it and just take the test. You don't have to keep taking the course. But that's not what the rules say, okay? This is the most unslytherin thing, like, about me. I cannot mentally get myself to move past and just take the test, okay? This is what, my 3rd or 4th, maybe 4th time taking these courses. And okay, some of them, the fire extinguisher one in particular, I am convinced is designed to trick you. I had to retake that one. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I didn't, because I Googled 2 answers when I was on the verge of failing. There was a different one I did fail and had to retake, which sucked, but, like, they don't pay attention to that. It's ridiculous, okay? Okay, anyways, continuing on with what's going on. So then, so that Monday, well home from school, because I hadn't gotten any sleep and we got home around the time school was starting. So now I've used up 4 of my 10 sick days, which is not great. I have to pray that I don't get sick again. Or maybe just once in the spring. But anyways, get home. Words are escaping me. Oh yeah, I start to feel sick again. So I had been feeling better, and then now I'm feeling sick again. And I'm better now, but I had to go to work on, Tuesday because I had academy, crochet academy. And, so I made it through. I had the biggest migraine when I was done because my head was so congested. And Tuesday is my longest day. I have 8 classes plus an hour and a half academy. And it's not that this year the kids are naughty so much as I just have a lot of them on Tuesday. But academy is going so great. I'm so proud of my little learners. I will put in a picture here of one student's backpack. She decided to learn how to make an octopus. I did not teach her that. And she's made that she has on her backpack. And I think she must have more because she's taken like a dozen eyes from me. Like pairs of eyes. Anyways, her first one was, there was times when you could see that the yarn had she'd gotten it somehow caught in a way that shows that there's weird loop overs that shouldn't be there. But it's fine. It was good for her first attempt, right? And I did not criticize her, okay? I told her it looked great. Her second one, much better. Today, she came and showed me she'd made a bumblebee. And, like, I've not even made a bumblebee because the wings scare me. Like, attaching things scare me. But she had made a bumblebee and it looked great. Like, it looked really good. And she also came for more eyes to make more things. And so I have students who are doing like that. Then I have one who I think her mother was trying to show her Tunisian crochet because she's got all the loops on her hook. And she's like, what do I do? Luckily, I know a tiny bit about Tunisian crochet. And so I was able to show her, but she's ended up ripping out the whole thing. And then I have a couple who spent the first 2 just making chains and now have started to want to do like back and forth and learning more. So that's going great. Then on Thursday, I had my very first kindergarten, first grade art club, and that went really well. And I was so scared, guys. I was so nervous because it's 20 5- and 6-year-olds, and just thought they'd overpower me. They'd like be all like Lord of the Flies, just take over, run wild. But we had a great time. We had a really good time. I'd gotten some sticker sets off of Amazon. One was like a terrarium, and we made our own fairy gardens. And the other one was like a fish bowl. And it came with stickers that had all like sticker sheets that had a bunch of stickers that you could put on it. I should have brought mine to show you guys. But anyways, the kids loved it. And then because I'll try to put some pictures of that up too. I need to use the ones with their faces with stickers over it, like a digital sticker, because I don't believe I should show their faces. Anyways, that was great. I'm thinking we might do watercolors this next week. I'm not 100% sure set on that, but that's where I'm leaning right now. I have a bunch of I got watercolor palettes for each of them. I also have a bunch of watercolor paper, so I need to remember to bring some cups for water, but then we should be good to go. So I'm pretty excited about that. Then it was this weekend. I watched the memorial on Sunday. I cried. I don't know that I could be so strong to forgive my husband's killer less than 2 weeks later. The Bible says to forgive. People don't have to accept your forgiveness. You forgive for yourself, but forgiveness is not something that comes easy for me. I have a tendency to hold on to grudges and not forgive and forget, or even forgive and move on and not forget, because you don't have to forget. I hold grudges on other people's behalf. Like there are people that I'm angry at on behalf of my husband, and he's moved past it, but I know they slighted him and I can't move past it. And so that's something that I know I need to work on. And the amount of bravery to do that, I know that must have taken an enormous amount of courage. So that's all I will say about that. But that was basically most of Sunday. I did play with the dogs during all of that, and I don't know that they've ever received so many cuddles. Those little monkeys. So, after that, what did I do? I needed to make a little chicken and a little octopus for a student. So I did that. And then I played Stardew Valley with one of my sisters, and that was so much fun. And yeah, now you're caught up with my life. But I am hoping for a much better like week before October and all that starts. Oh yeah, here's a couple here's another thing. I've been trying to manifest fall into being, okay, we are in the 90s again. Tomorrow is going to be 98 degrees here where I live. So last episode, I wore Halloween pajamas. This episode, I have a new swig mug. This is my preference of what kind of mugs to get because they have really fun designs. Like this one is swig too. And then my Nutcracker one is also swig. Anyway, so I'm trying to make it happen as if drinking from a Halloween themed mug, not a mug, thermos? What are you called? Drink container? Won't make it come any faster. That's wishful thinking. So, yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. I have some progress to show, but not a ton, because as I was saying, everything was so crazy. I was nonstop watching the news, and it's very hard for me to craft while watching the news. For the most part, I don't really watch the news. I used to a lot. My husband enjoys it, but I stopped like, I don't know, probably like 8 years ago, 9 years ago, somewhere around there. And then yeah. So, one thing I did was I divided all of the floss over here from my EMT Santa, because I was going to start it, because it's one of the projects I need to start and work on for the bake-off. I sorted it and I didn't start it. Actually, let me show you guys. I did end up making a board. So thank you to Jen, the Caffeinated Stitcher, for this idea. So I have Monopoly up here, and black is Cross Stitch Monopoly, red is the yarn one, and then Bake Off is down here. And so I put in parentheses the number of stitches needed because I am so far behind. And then I will update that count in the red. So I did complete two projects for one project for each of the Monopoly boards. Unfortunately, on the yarn one, it was on a one of the taxes, I think income tax, so you don't get to highlight that square off. And then on my other board, you can see, right, oh my gosh, the fan, I'm sorry, but it's too hot for me to turn it off. You can see I highlighted it right there. One thing I forgot to mention last time about my yarn Monopoly board is if I roll doubles, then I do double the amount of skeins. I don't think I ever, I know I didn't explain that, but there are a couple of projects where I need to do 2 skeins, and that's because I had rolled doubles. So I am also really far behind on stitching for Bake Off. I'm caught up on watching the episodes, and I'm really enjoying it. It's an interesting cast of characters this time. They all have such interesting lives. Like, there's this one guy, this Irish guy, and he's pretty short, and his girlfriend towers over him, and he says that she's like a female Knoll, and Knoll is an interesting looking dude. Anyways, so that one's pretty funny. There's a Ukrainian lady on there, and there's some really interesting people. Sorry, excuse me. And I've been really enjoying watching Bake Off. The reason I bring that up is because I've only worked on one project for Bake Off, and that is Cinderella, where I need, oh, this is a terrible hoop. There's no tension on here. I need 1,150 stitches for Cinderella. I have done 67. Actually, I believe the real number is slightly higher than that. But I did a few stitches down here. Then I finished off that length of thread over here. And then I've been filling in this blank spot here. But yeah, so basically I wrote down 67 stitches because that's the last thing I had written on the calculator. But oh, there is a lot to do on that project. I was debating up until this week of changing the top baker to 500 because you are the top baker. But I'm glad I've kept it at 300 because, like, sometimes the top baker wins both of the competitions. Sometimes they get the handshake and things like that. And so keeping it at 300 leaves it a little bit more reasonable. So that's all I've done for Bake Off. For Monopoly, I did finish that one square, and that was 500 stitches on a Halloween project. Oh man, I'm so sorry, you guys. So I am at more than that. I have been working on borders for my Halloween advent calendar. I have done almost 5 across the top. Once I finish this one, that will be the top row, and then I'll continue working on it. I've reached the amount I needed to get to for Monopoly, but this is my focus piece for October, and so I want to get as many frames done as I can. So yeah. I will not be working on this while editing this video though, because I need to work on a project with a paper pattern because I edit on my iPad and I use my iPad for this pattern. This pattern I will put in the picture. Kitty and I are stitching together. She is so far ahead of me in terms of frames. And then we picked out our Christmas Advent pattern that we're going to do. I will put in a picture of that as well. I believe we chose the one that's shaped like a Christmas tree. If you wish to join us, I will send the link for the Etsy listing. I believe right now it's about $6, but super excited about that. Tomorrow is Kitty's birthday. Happy birthday, Kitty. I hope you have an awesome, awesome birthday. We are going to start, is it Welcome to Beskayeth or is it just Beskayeth? I don't know. Don't remember. Beskayeth War College. I don't remember the exact title of the project. I will put in a picture here of what it will look like. So I will be stitching this on 28 count 2/2 with only 2 inches of border because I was lazy and didn't feel like getting and looking through my Ada stash to find 18 count. So I will be stitching on 28 count. And I've never done full coverage 2/2. And so I was kind of interested in doing that too. But I'm really looking forward to starting that, and I will be restarting the audiobooks while working on it. And that is all of the cross stitch updates. I have now my Yarny updates. Let's see. One of the Monopoly stops that I started but did not finish is I finally started the project for my Nutcracker yarn. Ignore the fact that that is a dragon stitch marker on there. Oops, it turned around. Isn't it pretty though? Anyways, so I started this. I think I started it as I was doing some of my trainings before my husband finally agreed to let me take him to the hospital. That's when I started it. I can see a mistake. Okay, we're going to ignore that. I was really enjoying it, but it's not something that I could concentrate on in a hospital. I've just not had time to finish the working on it. See, there's still a lot of yarn in this ball. And this is one of the Monopoly pieces that I had rolled a double for, so I have to do 2 mini skeins of this, which is okay. Oh, wait, where is it? Oh, shoot. I did finish my Halloween color on the Advent blanket, but it's all the way over there. So I guess we'll just leave it for now. It's like 2 rows. Anyways, I finished the next color on the reindeer games. So this yellow is, I think, where I was at. No, it's not. No, it wasn't. No, that's not. I just randomly clipped that there so I didn't use the loose that stitch marker. So that's the next wedge of this waxing moon shawl, or I think it's more going to be a shawl blanket. And yeah, I did this I finished in the hospital. That's what I did. I worked on this in the hospital while listening to and taking those tests and everything. Let me see. This is the next color. Things are running away. That's the next color. And it is called Dolly. And I think it'll look really good as the next color over here. So I've got a brown, a kind of greenish grayish color, blue, and then red. So it's it's not a project I'm called to work on right now. It's just such an easy one to work on the go. That's why I took it to the hospital, because I have the pattern memorized and it's rhythmic, and yeah. There's a mistake in there too because I accidentally dropped some stitches in the hospital. Anyway, I have just one more project to show you guys, and then we will go into a few plants. Release. Okay, there we go. I decided on Saturday that another 6-day blanket sounded good. Not to be attempted in 6 days, because I just don't have the time for that right now. But I decided I finally wanted to use this yarn that I got using the gift card that my husband gave me for our anniversary. And so I completed the setup rows. The color is not showing it too true. There, that's much better. So this is just the start. I think I have like 12 skeins of this, 10 or 12. I won't use them all, but I am really looking forward to this, and I love how this looks starting out. The like dusty, rusty pink in there, I really like. So that is that. Now I want to go over a few plans. Vlogtober is coming up, which means actually I need to set up the like intro part. I need to work on that. Reminder. And I do have some plans for that. First, we'll talk about before that. I've been seeing these pumpkins everywhere, like just crochet pumpkins everywhere. And I want to make some in this yarn. So hopefully before next week, I will have a pumpkin made in this. And I also want to make in this yarn. I figure if I tell you guys, maybe I'll actually do it. But I really want to make a pumpkin in those colors. This afternoon, while I was working, I was entering new books into our library. I was entering new books into the library thing. Library catalog, that's the word. And then I was watching the Bakery Bears, and they mentioned Sockoween coming up. That is their Halloween event. And Kay is releasing a pattern for DK weight socks. And I have a bunch of skeins of DK weight self-striping from when I was in the Wednesday club with Freckled Whimsy. And so my plan is to start to do that during October. DK weight will go so much faster, so I'm hoping I'll be able to like do this. But I have this skein, and I am thinking of making these for my husband, following her spooky cookie pattern that she's releasing. Because it's DK weight, it should go so much faster. And I do have I actually had the size needles I needed for that, so I was actually extra happy for that. Now, if I finish that and I want to start another Sockoween sock, this time for myself, I have this skein also in DK weight, and I'm thinking just doing plain vanilla for this. But yeah, I would love to start both of those. I only have one pair of needles available at the moment, so that is, I'm not gonna buy more yet. So that is kind of my thoughts on that. Depending on how memorizable the pattern is, this might be something that I can knit while walking home if the weather ever chooses to cooperate. And then the first week of October is also our fall break at school, so I'm really looking forward to that. I mentioned in the last episode that I didn't sign up for Stephen West's knit along. I am going to watch the video for the first clue. If it's something I really want to do, like I really love how the first part looks like, I have a 4 skein fade that I started another pattern on, and I'm not convinced I love it. But if I really, really like this Stephen West one, then I'll buy the pattern and I'll use that to make the shawl. It is speckled, which most of his kits weren't, so, but it is for color, like a fade. I didn't bring it. It's over there hiding. So that's something I'm just keeping in the back of my mind, but I don't know. I feel like I've kind of been burned on some of his last shawls. So I just decided not to buy this one and felt like, you know, I could give more of my time and effort and energy into my Halloween advent calendars that I did order. So I have received one of the two. This one is a Sherlock Holmes based one. It is 12 colors in a full skein, maybe. I think. And I am planning on doing this pattern. It is crochet. The name of it's gone out of my mind, but I'll put a picture in it. And it uses the full rotation of colors 3 times, which is 36 if you're like keeping track like that. So my plan is for the first 12 days to just do one section for the 12 days, and then after that I will do 1 a day and 2 on weekends, and that should get me done by Halloween. I might have to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I had worked out the math, so I'll just need to double check the numbers to see. But I wanted to open them up 1 day at a time, and I thought this was just the best way to accomplish that. Because it's crochet, and because it's literally only using like 6 grams, 5 or 6 grams a section, this should be doable in a day. So I'm really, really hoping to stay caught up on that one. My second one, which hasn't arrived yet, is a DK weight dragon themed full countdown. And so my plan for that, this is the same person I've ordered the Halloween countdown the past 3 years. Last year I ordered her Christmas one as well. The Nutcracker one actually is from her. And I am planning on buying her Christmas one. I am gonna buy it at the beginning of next month when my paycheck comes. And it is a it's also a night before Christmas Advent, and it is the Forbidden Fibers is also a night before Christmas, and so I had wanted to kind of compare and contrast both of those Advents. So I'm not fully sure that I'm going to work on those projects like as they are opened, because I kind of want to compare like a Claire is not, that's Nutcracker, but like, I don't know, Saint Nick and Saint Nick, or what, Sugar Plums and whatever. I'm not sure if that's what I'll end up doing, but at this point, that's what I'm thinking. Anyways, so for the Halloween one, which is dragon themed, I was like, let's try doing Tunisian crochet. I don't know why. I don't know that this is gonna work. Yeah, I really don't know that this is gonna work. I'm gonna try the first day or two, and if I really hate it, I'll just rip it out and do something different. But here is my Tunisian crochet hook that I ordered, and I'm just doing the simple stitch because it's easy, arithmetic, and all that, and we'll see how that goes. I hope it goes well. I'm a little bit nervous also because I'm not following a pattern. I asked my friend Renee, who does Tunisian crochet more than me, I said, how much do you, because I couldn't find the information anywhere, I asked her how many stitches would I cast on for, and I told her the idea, and she said she thought that sounded cool. But how many do you cast on for something like that? And she gave me a number that I have to look up again, but we will see. I hope. Tunisian crochet, in my opinion, is a yarn eater because it's not very airy or anything like that. I mean, one of my alternative ideas is I do another star blanket and I just change the colors as they come. That one, by the way, is the Supernova. So it's not the same one that I made my husband. But anyways, if I really hate it, then I will just do something else. There's plenty of patterns that are even DK weight that would work for something like, our fingering weight, but would work for something DK weight. So I'll just figure it out. It's not a big deal. Anyways, so those are my plans as of this moment. Next month in Semi-Stain Stitching group, they are doing, I forget what they call the event, but if you've ever played the game Mafia, it's basically that. So someone will be assigned to be a sheriff, someone will be assigned to be a killer. Are there 3 killers? I don't remember, maybe just 1 killer. And then everyone stitches and nobody knows the other people's roles, but the sheriff is able to accuse someone of being the killer, but if they guess wrong, then they are eliminated. And also they can only make 1 guess a night. And the killer kills 3 people, 3 stitchers, but they have to have stitched less than the killer. So if I were the sheriff, which I don't want to be, but if I were, I would like make a spreadsheet and keep track of like everybody's stitch counts to try to figure out who could possibly be the killer. That's just what I would do. So yeah. Let's see. Do I have anything else? I don't think I do. I think I've been rambling long enough. Oh, I've been playing an iPad game called Ebony. That game sucked me in a few times in my past. It sucked me in again. It is like an alliance war type of game. I don't know. My sister, Johanna, we've played this game multiple times before, been in the same alliance, like went hardcore at it, and then our alliance went extreme. And so she told me she downloaded it, and I was like, oh my gosh, tell me what server you're on so I'll play it again too. And she told me, she was like, girl, I'm scared to open it. It was so overwhelming. And she told me she was still on our old server, but it didn't give me that option. It made me start all the way fresh from the beginning, which is fine because the beginning part is my favorite part, where you're just like clicking for upgrades and stuff like that. But apparently the server was brand new when I joined, and somehow I got into the most powerful alliance. Like, we're in the lead right now of this brand new server. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not at the level of these people. But yeah, I've been enjoying playing that way too much. Like, that may be killing my iPad battery a few times. So that's the last really kind of other thing. I've been playing Stardew Valley a lot too. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I want to edit this, and we're only at 43 minutes, so it's below an hour, guys. Yay! And I will chat with you all next week, where I will do a better preview for Vlogtober and get all of September wrapped up, and hopefully get some more numbers on here. If I could like eliminate a few things, be able to cross them off, highlight a couple Monopoly squares, that would be great. But since I am spending a lot of time like making the squares, I don't know. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please leave the comments a friendly space, or I will just delete them, because it's my channel. And let me know if you're doing anything like Vlogtober. Are you knitting? Are you crocheting? Are you cross stitching? Are you vlogging? Let me know if you know of anyone who is vlogging it, so that I can follow some of those channels, because my algorithms are so messed up right now, and like none of that stuff is coming up for me anymore. So yeah, if you know of anyone that's vlogging Vlogtober, crafty, not lifestyle. Please let me know, because I really want to watch more craft orientated YouTube videos. So I've kind of gone off of the ASMR true crime channel that I was watching so much. That happens quite a bit. And I've gone off of the financial audit again, which again happens to me all the time. Anyway, oh yeah, one last thing. So while doing Vlogtober and doing all the crafty stuff, it is my plan to watch some crime type of TV shows like Wednesday and the Cormoran Strike series. HBO has that one. And I want to watch the Sherlock movies because I've got the Sherlock Advent. And then I want to listen to the Cormoran Strike book series. And I'd like to listen to maybe the Dan Brown series because the newest book just came out. Any other suggestions for kind of scary but not scary, like that kind, you know? Like, I don't want horror. I'm not into horror at all. Not in movies. Girl, I know my cutoff is PG-13 because I cannot handle anything past that, and even then, that's a little if. But so any movies or TV shows or book recommendations that you have that would fit that kind of category, I would love to get them because I am trying to close in on 100 books, but also I would really like to just get your guys' suggestions. So also don't suggest to me that American Horror Show. I watched 1 or 2 seasons and it was okay, but I couldn't watch all of it. I would like have to, like, and me, it's a hearing thing, so I'd like cover my ears, close my eyes, and start screaming. For real. My husband did not love that he would have to come and check on me. But yeah, I read the first 2 books in a series that kind of has a Criminal Minds-esque by, oh my gosh, I just finished the second one yesterday. The first one's called The Naturals, and it's basically like Criminal Minds, but it's like teenage, they're naturals at like these kind of criminal, like one's like a human lie detector, one's like a profiler, those kind of things. Anyways, it's really good. I really enjoyed the first 2 books. I did not like the aspect of the love triangle that was in the first 2 books, but apparently that's like over now for the next 2.5 books. It's 2 books and then a tiny book, like one of those 0.5 books. Anyway, so yeah, I'm open to your guys' suggestions down below, please. And thank you. And I will have more updates later with more of my plans because I have a lot of plans for October and I'm super excited. But also, like, so I do have that first week off for fall break, but like right after that, I've got the book fair. So not excited about that. That is a big time consumer. But yeah. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Kate from the future. Nope, just Kate here again. I was going to insert part of the clip earlier, and then I remembered I changed my mind about that. Anyways, I quickly went to go get my blanket so I could share the progress with you guys. So I did this darker purple in here. And that actually finished off the one ball. So I've only got this much yarn remaining. And then I will be done with this project. So bittersweet. I when I was working on this, I had it draped over my legs, and well, I would wish that I would maybe have done one or two chevrons less. It will be like right now, my ankles about an inch or two above my ankles, and then my feet are uncovered. But so it's not too bad. It's just not. But then again, I do have, well, I don't know how many colors this is part of the problem. But I do have that much left to do, and I am guessing it'll be about another, let's see. So each color is about 2.5 inches. So it will be like another 8 inches. So actually it probably will be fine. Okay, worrying about nothing. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, but it is getting close, you guys. Like if the Tunisian thing doesn't work out, I'd totally do this pattern again. It's such an easy pattern. So I wanted to update you guys with that. And then the other thing that I did forget to say is that starting tomorrow, I am holding a, I'm having a 23% off sale on my Etsy shop because I am ready for the change of seasons, and that happens on the 23rd, I believe. And so I am ready for fall. So it is my like fall sale. Fall, come bless us. And so if you've been interested in anything, feel free to check out my Etsy shop, link down below. And if the pumpkins turn out okay, I am hoping to put some pumpkins on there and other various Halloween / fall themed things in the next coming days or week or so. So yeah, I forgot about that update. We are now over 50 minutes, but I will chat with you guys later. Bye!